Hi everyone, how you all going? Welcome to my review of Jurassic World Rebirth. This is the seventh installment in the Jurassic Park franchise, and this movie was directed by Gareth Edwards, who also directed Godzilla 2014, which I didn't mind actually, and Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, which came out in 2016, which I actually really enjoyed. This is the first installment in the Jurassic World era not to star Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard. Instead, it starred Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, Jonathan Bailey, Rupert Friend, some other cast members as well. Plot is pretty straightforward. Scarlett Johansson in the movie plays a mercenary who is offered $10 million to go to this island to extract 3 DNA blood samples from the 3 largest living dinosaurs. And she finds out that the purpose of this is so that Parkergenics, a pharmaceutical company, can manufacture a drug to cure heart disease and extend life expectancy by 20 years for heart disease sufferers, basically. Let me start off with what I did like about this movie. I enjoyed the performances for the most part. There were a couple of scenes where I thought Scarlett Johansson did speak very quickly, like she was rushing through her lines, but overall I enjoyed the performances for the most part. I like the score in this movie, and John Williams' score as well plays in a couple of scenes, which I'll talk about very shortly again. I enjoyed the score. I enjoyed the cinematography. I enjoyed some of the action set pieces. I thought they were great. And yes, there's one action set piece that takes place on a raft, which apparently is taken from the book. There's also an action set piece that takes place on the boat where the crew come across the Mosasaurus for the first time. So the 3 largest dinosaurs in this movie that they have to extract DNA blood samples from are the Mosasaurus, the Titanosaurus, and also the Quetzalcoatlus. Or yeah, I struggled to pronounce that one, but yeah, the Quetzalcoatlus, I think it was pronounced, is what it was called. What I didn't like about this movie, the first 30 minutes was too slow. The first 30 odd minutes could have been a lot superior in my opinion. They do dwell on a couple of subplots that don't really go anywhere. Like one of them involves Zora, and we find out her former mission partner was killed by a car bomb during a training mission in Yemen. But they don't really expand on it after that. They just mention it very briefly. There's also a subplot mentioned, or there's also a little thing we find out about Duncan, played by Mahershala Ali. We find out his son passed away, and this also led to his marriage falling apart. But yeah, they dwell on these little plot threads which don't really go anywhere, in my opinion. Another thing I didn't like about this movie, Xavier. So in the movie, Zora and the people she's with, so Duncan, Dr. Loomis, and her other team members as well, they come across a Mexican family who basically call out for help because they come under attack from the Mosasaurus. And the family consists of, Ruben, his daughter, Teresa's sister Bella, and also Teresa's boyfriend Xavier. I found Xavier's humor in the movie quite cringeworthy at times. I don't know if look, a couple of jokes were. I sort of chuckled at maybe 1 or 2 jokes, but overall, for the most part, I thought his humor in the movie was very cringeworthy. And going back to what I said previously, yes, the first 30 minutes was very slow, but what I did like about this movie, the VFX I thought was good on the dinosaurs. So yeah, some good action set pieces as well, some great cinematography, a good score. My favourite scene in the movie, however, was not actually an action set piece. It was when Zora and her crew, they come across the Titanosaurus on the island, and during that scene they become overcome with just astonishment and awe at just how big the Titanosaurus actually is. And in that scene, John Williams' iconic score plays in the background. And that scene, in my opinion, was fantastic. I really enjoyed that scene actually, where they come across a Titanosaurus and they witness just how big and huge they are, and they become overcome with astonishment, awe, and John Williams' score plays in the background. I thought that was a very nice touch as well. But for the most part, yes, I really enjoyed the movie. Couple of flaws. The climax of the movie at the end with the Distortus Rex I thought was very engaging. The Distortus Rex could have been a little bit more menacing in my opinion, because even though it looked very menacing and almost looked like a xenomorph from the Alien franchise, I think it could have easily killed 1 or 2 of them very easily, and it didn't. It was just very slow. So I think it was menacing, but it could have actually been even more menacing personally. But overall, I give this movie a 7.5 out of 10, and out of 5, I'd give it a 3.5 to about a 3.75 out of 5. Go watch it. If you're a fan of the franchise, you will enjoy it. It is an improvement to Fallen Kingdom and Dominion. It's not as good as Jurassic Park from 1993. And to be honest, maybe slightly better than Jurassic World 2015 as well, if I'm being honest. I like that movie, however, so I'm not going to say it's better than 2015, but I probably enjoyed it a little bit more than 2015. But stay tuned for more movie reviews very, very soon. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.